Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Hallows End, and more specifically we're going to go through all of the updates and changes coming to Hallows End in the 2023 event. This event has had some big changes and additions to it in 2023 as a part of the patch 10.1.7 update. But before we jump into all of the updates to Hallows End in 2023, just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Dragonflight PTR, and more, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yes, Hallows End. It is currently August 2023, and I'm talking about Hallows End, which is obviously an event that comes in October. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because it's actually testable on the PTR right now, so we're getting an early look at what is coming in the 2023 update to Hallows End, and it's actually really cool. There's some really awesome updates to this event coming. So this year's event will run from October 18th, 2023 to November 1st, 2023, which actually does fall during BlizzCon, which is really interesting. Now, those dates are obviously subject to change, but we will certainly see what happens with that. But currently that is the slated dates for Hallows End in 2023, and I don't see them changing it, to be honest, unless there's like a patch release or something like that that comes out, but we'll have to see. So what is going on with this event? So there's a couple new things going on here. The first thing we're going to talk about is a new quest line. So there's actually a new kind of story quest line. I'm not going to give too much away in this video, but essentially what this is kind of the backstory of the Headless Horseman, Sir Thomas, which will send you over to the Scarlet Monastery to do some kind of fun things. There's not really any reward from this, it seems, at least right now on the PTR, but it is a very cool storyline, definitely worth reading all the quest text and kind of getting into the story of this, because it is really cool to add a little bit of lore to the Headless Horseman and kind of link it back to, you know, why is he in Scarlet Graveyard and things like that. So yeah, you will be kind of like doing stuff around Scarlet Monastery with some ghosts and whatnot, and also kind of teasing a Scarlet Crusade return. This is also something that is going to happen during the Forsaken Heritage Armor questline as well, so keep an eye on the Scarlet Crusade, because they're up to something for sure. Next major update, and kind of the biggest update here, is revamping the Headless Horseman encounter in Scarlet Graveyard. So it still works the same way, so you can still queue for it through the Dungeon Finder and whatnot, but the previous fight has been removed, and there's actually now a new achievement if you've killed it before the 2023 revamp. So it's a pretty big revamp in that sense. Speaking of achievements, there's a new achievement called a Cleansing Fire, which is just to kill the Headless Horseman post-revamp. So yeah, you just get that when you kill him for the first time. So he's still located in the Scarlet Graveyard. As mentioned, you just got to kind of queue up, and then the queue will pop and you jump into the Scarlet Graveyard. The fight still starts the same way, so you got to click the pumpkin, he flies out, does this whole little shtick, but there is some changes here. So no longer do you need to chase the head around, so you will just kill him once. You don't kill him multiple times, and the head, that part was always a little bit annoying to me, so that's no longer happening. He does have some new abilities. So he has a new ability called Pumpkin Breath, which is like an AoE attack, so you just got to avoid that. You've got Vine March, this will summon pumpkin adds. You've got Insidious Cackle, this will put a circle around your character. You just want to not stack on other people, otherwise you'll get feared. And another ability called Hothead, which will just throw a pumpkin at him. So that's basically that. It's just rinse and repeat kind of those abilities. Not too difficult at all if you want to do it on normal mode. Now, I say normal mode because there is now a hard mode for the Headless Horseman. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's completely personal. So if you go in with a pug, you can enable hard mode for yourself, and it shouldn't affect the group too much. And there's a personal achievement to kill the boss on hard mode called Kicking with the Wick. Now, what this does is it enhances all of the abilities I just listed for the Headless Horseman. So as you walk into the dungeon to the left-hand side, there'll be a bunch of Wicker Men, and you basically enable all of these curses. If you enable all the curses and kill the boss, that will give you the hard mode achievement. Now, there are 4 personal curses here which affect the 4 abilities I listed. If you fail these curses, you get a stack of Wicker Man's Shadow. Now, Wicker Man's Shadow is a debuff which will reduce your health by 10% per stack. So every time you fail one of these mechanics, your maximum health will be reduced by 10%. So the first one is Cursed Pumpkin Breath. So it says during Pumpkin Breath, cursed targets emit shadow flame blasts around their location. Each blast inflicts a stack of Wicker Man's Shadow. You have Cursed Vine March. So during Vine March, piercing thorns erupt under the cursed enemies periodically. The thorns inflict a stack of Wicker Man's Shadow. You've got Cursed Insidious Cackle. When Insidious Cackle is cast, cursed targets will shed a part of their soul. The soul is shackled, forcing it to slowly move towards shadowy flames. Destroying the shackles frees the soul. Should the soul reach the flame, the target suffers 2 stacks of Wicker Man's Shadow. And finally, you have Cursed Hothead. So during Hothead, cursed enemies suffer from hallucinations. Moving to the hallucinations dispels them. Ignoring the hallucinations inflicts 2 2 stacks of Wickerman's Shadow. So yeah, hard mode is really interesting. As mentioned, it is personal, but obviously if you are losing health and maximum health, that's obviously going to affect the healer as well. So maybe it's not so personal, but it definitely doesn't affect the entire group. Like, it's not like a, oh man, they've enabled hard mode, that's so annoying. So yeah, not too difficult, you know, just kind of avoiding a lot of the mechanics here, and you will get an achievement for that. As of right now on the PTR, it doesn't look like it affects the loot table at all. However, I would imagine it probably will, surely. You'd like to think so anyway, but it might just be an achievement thing. We'll have to see once, obviously, it launches, or we get a bit more information from Blizzard. So yeah, you have a normal mode, and you have a hard mode, which is actually kind of cool, and a whole new revamped fight. So let's talk about the loot now. There's a little bit of a caveat here. So on the PTR right now during Season 2, it drops 402 veteran gear, which is upgradable to 424. Now, here's the thing. Because of the date of it, which is October 14th, it might be during Season 3. There's a high chance that 10.2 might already be out by then, and then we'll be going into Season 3, so that naturally the loot will be a higher item level during that season. So yeah, because the PTR is obviously on Season 2, it's 402, but it might be the Season 3 equivalent to whatever 402 is in Season 3, but we'll have to see with the release date of that. Also, it seems like, and perhaps this is a bit of hopium here, the Horseman mount seems to be a higher drop chance. I got it first time on the PTR. This is something they have said they're going to be looking into doing, so maybe that's something, but yeah, I managed to get it on PTR. Luckily, I already had it, so that was fine. But yes, the Horseman mount will still drop in this revamp. Also, another thing that is dropping during Hallows End from the Horseman encounter is a new customization for the Windborn Velocidrake. This is some Hallows End themed armor. I didn't manage to get this to drop on the PTR. I did see a couple people dropping it, but it does look very, very cool. Seems like a relatively high drop chance as well, so you don't have to farm that endlessly like the Horseman mount. And it's yeah, it's a pretty cool customization for the Windborn Velocidrake. Just a shame that it's on that Drake, but you know, you can't win them all. So that's pretty much it for the Horseman encounter. That's having some cool changes in it. So let's go through some of the other changes coming in Hallows End 2023. We have a new offhand. So this is sold by Dorothy. This will cost you 150 tricky treats. Yeah, it's just a new offhand. It's a pumpkin thing. It's very HD. It's very cool looking. But yeah, this will only be available to Transmog during Hallows End, unfortunately. And finally, they're adding candy buckets to the Dragon Isles with a new achievement. So there are 35 candy buckets available to go collect in the Dragon Isles. So they'll be ready to go when the event launches. It also includes areas like Zeralak Caverns. So yeah, it's going to be a little adventure around the Dragon Isles to collect all 35. And that's pretty much it. That is all of the updates coming to Hallows End in 2023. I think there's some really cool updates here, especially to the Horseman encounter. Hard mode didn't seem too difficult. I was kind of a bit worried that it was going to be like super duper hard, but unfortunately it's not. So maybe there's some tuning still to be had there, of course. But yeah, it seems very cool. And as said, it doesn't currently affect the loot table, but maybe it will. We'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, some cool updates to Hallows End. Let me know down below what you think of these updates to the event in 2023. There's also updates to Brewfest and Winter Veil and stuff like that. So obviously once that is available for testing or available on the game, we will be going through all the updates there. It looks like they're going through a lot of the world events and adding new stuff to them and making them a little bit better, which is really cool actually. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. We've been testing out the Hallows End event. We've been testing out 10.17 and collecting stuff in WoW. So it's been a whole load of fun on Twitch. So if you want to check me out, guys, twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.